Hey everyone, how's it going? It's the real Randy Chavez. Hi guys. So this is not going to be a crypto video. It's not really going to be a NFT. This is just for my friends that I haven't seen in a while. It's for friends that I haven't. I'm sorry. It's life has been pretty busy, and now the bull run crypto's happening. It'll be busy for like the next 12 to 15 months. I promise I'll be around and I'll be a better friend to people after this next thing. I know I've said that before when I've had multiple businesses and stuff, and it's just life is crazy. Life is awesome. Been doing things that I would like never dreamed of doing. Best advice: start a YouTube channel. Be into lean into what makes you you, and go into so. It's really cool to have this, like, God forbid ever something happened to me, although I plan to live forever. There's your family and loved ones will have something like this. So I think that's really cool. Anyway, instead of texting everyone individually, which would take 6 years, I'm just going to say what I've been up to. In Ohio, I moved. Plot twist. Please don't be offended that I didn't tell y'all. I am going to go to Puerto Rico at some point, or the plan is to go to Puerto Rico, become a resident there, and then pay those taxes there, because capital or crypto gains down there is like 4%. America, it's a bit different. It's like 25%. With Trump in now, obviously you might have that be lessened in the future, because he wants to make this like a haven for people that have crypto. So we'll see. So friends on both sides of the aisle now, not just like, oh, I have Republican Democrat friends, which of course I do, but actual like politician, political friends, and that's been so interesting to see. I want to tell you that I feel like a lot amount of people get into politics because they just want to help. Obviously, somewhere across the line, you have people like, it's just a different beast. But then obviously some people get corrupted. You have like Nancy Pelosi. People that anyone that is worth like 9 figures and they're a politician, is like, okay, you have some insight. And again, people on both sides of the aisle, I'm sure, do it, but at some point, that some people get corrupted. It happens. But at the end of the day, regardless of who's in office, I just want what's best for America. I want what's best for the world, and hopefully, always prepare, hope for the best. You want to prepare for the worst, that's up on you. Speaking of preparing for the worst, my health ain't the greatest. No, I'm joking. My health is fine. I'm finally getting tested thanks to Mudo. Mudo's a genetics and epigenetics testing company, and they're going to tell me if I'm part alien. More on aliens in a minute. They're just going to say like, hey, you are proficient, or you don't need any of these vitamins for X, Y, and Z, but you need these, or you're predisposed to that. I just think it'd be cool. I don't have a family history because I was adopted, so it's one of the ways that. But for the most part, my diet's fairly okay, and I take a lot of vitamin supplements, so that's good. My back finally just went out though, from years of whether fighting, car crashes, military. It's just finally done. It's not muscular; it's spinal. So haven't been to the gym in a couple months. I'm surprisingly taking it really well. This sort of happened like even a few years ago. I'd have been like, oh, my life is over. But it's what it is. It's fine. So that's on the health part. Oh God, sorry. Got these messages. Love. Okay, so I've been for work, been traveling a lot. Sometimes there are workations. Vegas is great. A few weeks ago, then Colombia. I've never been there. That was awesome. And maybe I don't think I'd live in Colombia. No, probably not. I don't know where I'd live. Vegas, Arizona, Florida. Who knows? But part of the places where I've been going was one of the places that I've been traveling to every month was a faraway land, and it was to see a girl, and that is over now. So. Every adult that has told me since I was like, can't even remember how young, like, oh, I'll get married and have kids one day. I'm like, no, I don't want. It's like, you say that now, young whippersnapper, but when you're an adult, you don't want to get married and have kids. Nope. And it's not, I mean, obviously you think about it more and more as you get older. And And in the military, you had people that did it at like 18, 19, 20. They had 3 kids by the time they're 21. It's like, damn. And so obviously being a young dad, if I would have been a young dad probably would have been fun. I don't think I'd be a young dad anymore. I'm 33 now. Yeah. And again, not saying that will never happen, but I don't want, like, my Tony Stark in the Avengers Endgame be like talking to his dad, Howard Stark, like, you're about to become a dad. Do you feel like you had any idea on how to operate this thing? And he was like, not a clue. I have no idea. But I don't know. I have friends that have kids, and that's always been fun. It's always been fun to like chill out with them and play Nintendo and eat ice cream and Taco Bell together and all that. And that's fun. I'll be fun Uncle Chavi forever. What I've really wanted to embracing, been watching Young Sheldon recently, and well, I've watched it before. I'm on like a rewatch now, and the rewatch, Mima is like one of my favorite characters. Where in like the first episode, she goes in and she's teaching like the kids how to play poker, and she's teaching Sheldon about bluffing, and she says like, what's on somebody's face is not always what's in their heart. And first off, that's a great line, and second off, it's like Sheldon even says the line, Mima liked to teach me things that used to keep me up at night. And I was like, that is so cool. Yeah, I don't know, Uncle Chavez, Grandpa Chavez. I'll be the one to teach kids how to play poker and shoot off pop rocks and explode stuff. Just be fun. Anyway, so I'm fine with that. I don't need to have kids of my own. But speaking of health and healthcare related stuff, dude, this United Health. If you don't know, like, I'm sure unless you're living under a rock, CEO of United Healthcare was pew-pewed to death the other day, and my first thought was, I wonder how this is going to affect the markets and crypto. And like my second thought was like, oh, bro, is that really my first thought? No, like, thoughts and prayers. No, like, oh, damn, coming F to pay down below to pay respects. And then I looked at the comments, and then suddenly I didn't feel so bad. Looked at the comments, and people, I don't know if they started off as happy, but they started off as just very, very unemotional, like, oh, thoughts and prayers. Oh, wait, actually, no, thoughts and prayers is not in my network. You don't get any of that. And it's a joke because insurance people, like, you have to be in their network, and if you have a doctor in your network, they'll cover it. Obviously, insurance companies are not meant to really be there for you. They're just there to make money. But every now and then, I feel like that does overlap, where they can do the right thing and make money at the same time. But obviously, with insurance companies, each one some are better than others. And the list of insurance companies that have denied people's claims was like this, and then suddenly United Healthcare CEOs was like this. That list was that long of them denying people coverage, and I was like, oh my god, okay. And okay, well, what are the consequences of that? Well, clearly here's a consequence. CEOs were really unalived, and it wasn't that. It was the people's reactions, which again started as just like unemotional, like so. And then it got to like people laughing, where somebody putting out the gif of like Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker and Robert De Niro in the movie Joker, and like, you get what you freaking deserve, and people like laughing, and suddenly it went from just people being like, so like indifferent to them like celebrating it. And I was like, oh my god. And I feel like this is one of those things where a mirror is kind of held up to society. If anyone remembers the show Breaking Bad, and spoilers if you haven't seen this, but Walt is talking to this old guy, I forget his name, this old guy, this OG, and he's like, you might hate me, but I bet you there's someone that you hate more. Talking about Gus Fring, Giancarlo Esposito, who plays him. And in this scene, this old guy in this wheelchair that has a bell, he can't talk, he communicates by a bell. He gets Gus Fring to go in to his, like, not hotel room, hospital room, and attached to his little bell is an explosive. And he hit that a couple times, and then Gus Fring's like, oh, and you see like stuff explode, but you don't see him exactly get exploded. And then he comes out of the hospital room like fixing up his tie, like I just dodged it, and everyone's reaction to that was different. I distinctly remember my reaction. I was like, this dude is so badass. Did he dodge a bomb? Did he dodge an explosion? And it wasn't really like, for me, it wasn't like, oh, rats, they didn't kill him, or just like, oh, thank God they didn't. It was just impressed at his reaction time. But then 2 seconds later, the camera turned and you saw his entire right side of his face was just like gone. And he falls down and is dead. And I think that was the first time, at least in my life or adult life, that people got to have the reaction of like, how do you react to that? And it held up a mirror to like society. And now I thought that was interesting back in like, I don't know, 2012, whenever that was. And now this is like, oof. I don't know how to feel about it. Now, obviously, the United Healthcare Group is really not a good company. They don't do right by people. And did this dude deserve to get unalive? It reminds me of in my adult life, Herman Cain was always kind of like this. Not Herman Cain, John McCain. John McCain was always this like kind of war hawk. And if you're in the military, you kind of like that because then you get to go deploy, you get that tax-free stuff, and there's some people in there that just joined people join for different reasons. Some people want to join, they're Captain America, they bleed red, white, and blue, love their country. I did it because I was tired of working 3 jobs and have nothing to show for it. I remember my training instructor, Sergeant Lyles, who was just like, I want to get out of the house. And then there's some people that joined just so they could unalive people, specifically brown people in other countries. I've met multiple of them, and it's like, well, glad you're on my side. But anyway, John McCain, had those always war hawkish, always kind of wanting to go in. And again, if you're in the military, like there are some benefits to that. But obviously, if you were not in the military, but you knew someone in the military, it's like, oh, bro, can you stop sending my friends and family like overseas? Like this, you don't want to play that roulette game. They might not come back. And I remember when he died, the amount of people that I saw like celebrating it, I was like, and the people that like they had their reasons, they had their justifications. Like, okay, now this Warhawk is gone, always sending our troops, putting them in danger. So I understand why they were saying those things. And then my friend Rebecca, I remember distinctly, she posted like he died, I think, because he had like 1 or 2 types of like cancer. Died from that. My friend Rebecca says like, listen, I know why people are posting this, but I also know that I never want to put myself on the same side as cancer. Like, I hope I'm never on the same side as cancer. And I thought that was a really interesting quote, or a good line there. I was like, okay. I thought of that as people were talking about this United Healthcare CEO. I was like, I admit my first reaction, again, was about the markets, how it's going to affect my crypto bags. But to go in and I don't know how to feel. Like, I feel like there's a better way. And again, you shouldn't celebrate this, but I feel like there's a better reaction to have. Like, you could say, okay, hey, this is a consequence of what happens when you deny people healthcare coverage in like the thousands. And it's like, what do you expect to happen? Like, okay, if you want to say that, cool, but people just laugh reacting and celebrating. And the guy that supposedly did it, I don't think it's him, but the guy that supposedly did it is like in custody now. His name is like Luigi something or something, Luigi. And it's just interesting. I don't want to say everyone else is like, if everyone is saying something and you think something else, I don't know. I've been on the side of it where I know I'm right and other people are not, and I don't know if I'm on the right side this time. 2 quotes come to mind. One is that Captain America quote where he says, it doesn't matter if you, your family, your town, the whole world says that something wrong is something right. And it's like, okay, but then also what comes to mind is that Simpsons quote where the principal is just like, am I out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong. And it's like, okay, am I out of touch with reality here by thinking that this person who personally I don't know, um, and saying like, hey, we should probably like pay like some respects, maybe not be as disrespectful. Am I out of touch? Is everybody else wrong? Is like, I don't know if we should celebrate. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. And like, there's probably another good reason why I don't have kids. Like, what am I supposed to tell like kids? Like, Mom, Daddy, why are they celebrating this man's death? Like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, very hard to interpret. Anyway, outside of the speaking of healthcare, I have just taken a Mudo genetics and epigenetics test, and I gave it that hakua and spin on that thing, and they have my DNA now, and they're going to tell me what I guess my family history is, and I'm adopted, and I have no idea what it is, but they're going to tell me genetic markers for stuff, tell me if I'm part alien. Speaking of aliens, dude, first off, aliens, if you're out there, dude, let's have a chat. Let's get on the podcast. I promise we're not all crazy. Some of us are. Love to talk to an alien. Love so many questions. I promise. Aliens, you would know how to find me. IP address, whatever. Shout out to Nancy Mace for getting this confirmed, months ago, where she asked Congress about these UAPs, unmanned aerial phenomena, and pilots in those. Okay, the pilots in those, are they human? No. Like, what are they? Like, well, they're non-human biologicals. Okay, so they're aliens. And I love how, like, unserious the internet was. They're just like, they find out that aliens exist, and then they're like, I still got to pay bills. Like, I don't care. It's like, damn, people are wild. I hope that, not only do I hope that they come out of high, I mean, I don't know, maybe part of me wants them to stay hidden. Not because I'm not curious, I'm hella curious, but humans haven't done that well at coexistence. So, we'll see. But aliens, if you're there, come find me. Come say hey. Let me give you a hug. Let me go and introduce you to Pokemon. That was another thing that old people like to tell me when I was younger. They like to tell me that I'm going to get married and have kids one day, and they like to tell me that Pokemon was like a phase. It's never a phase, bro. It's never a phase. I feel like same thing with emo stuff. So the reason I wanted to bring that up is because Pokemon is now in this digital age. So first off, gotta catch them all. They're in this digital age where they just had Pokemon TCG Pocket come out. I've been playing. I am Vivi on there. If you want to add me, VEVE. Has my name on there. And there's like 10 million players. There's $200 million that they made. Guys, do not let technology pass you by. This is one of those things where you're like, if anyone remembers that scene from John Q, Denzel Washington tells his son, things are so much easier with money. Guys, things are so much easier if you keep up with technology. The world's not going backwards. I know a lot of people really have this nostalgia for like the 80s and 90s, like, oh, things were different then. We played outside. Kids now today are so... I feel like that's every generation thinks less of the generation that comes after them, like the younger generation. And it's like, I hope I never become one of those people. And don't get me wrong, I have my problems with the newer generation, but again, every older generation thinks that of the new one. I really like the world this way, the way the world is going. A lot of people think that, again, being nostalgic for the 80s and 90s, you can be, and it was a different time, and it was a great time, but the world's not going back there. Like, the world's continuously moving forward, getting smaller, getting micro, and I think that's, I don't know, my continuous use of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds leads me to believe that we're in a simulation, and that at the end of the day, everyone just wants to have a couple drinks, listen to good music, and hang out with friends. But yeah, that's about it. Still playing Pokemon. I don't get to play as much as I used to. I talk about it every day because again, we're hoping that they're going to be on the blockchain soon. We're going to hope that they're on. We're going to hope that they are on Vivi, which I think would be great. Get some of those NFTs on there. But at the end of the day, Pokemon for life. Again, there's an episode of Young Sheldon where Missy's telling Sheldon that they're like 10 or 11 at this point. Like, you're not going to still be reading comic books and watching Star Trek in 20 years. And obviously we know from Big Bang Theory that he was. I hope I play Pokemon forever. I hope I'm interested forever. I hope I never lose that. And for the reasons, it's helped make me a lot of money. It's helped make me who I am today. And again, like even when I'm on flights, I'll still play Pokemon every time I'm on a plane. I'll play Pokemon whenever I can. I don't think I will tonight. I think, well, now it's officially Tuesday, December 10th. Yeah, I won't have time tonight. Or this been so busy lately. Don't lose that kid in you. There's a meme I saw a while ago, but I keep seeing it. It's for alligator, who's the final evolved form of a Totodile. He's just like standing there, and Totodile is being cute Totodile, and the caption is like, me doing something or buying something for my inner child, or that would have made that makes my inner child happy. Something that you weren't allowed to do as a kid, you do it now as an adult, keeps your inner child happy. For any of my younger viewers out there, just as a flower can't choose where to bloom, no one can really choose who their parents are. Childhood and high school does not last forever. It's a very short amount of time. Might seem like a impossibly long time now. I promise that it ends. I'm not gonna say like it gets better, but you'll be able to go out on your own, do whatever you want, within reason. Good times ahead. Anyway, it seems like a fun update video for now. Maybe once I get the results from this Mudo DNA test, I will do another one. I had people saying that they wanted me to do like lifestyle video updates. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. The lifestyle video updates, I don't know if I'd ever really do. I don't know if my life's really that interesting, but it's fun. I'll try to keep you updated more. I think like 3 people will watch this video, but we'll see. I love you guys. Goodbye.